Hey guys, welcome to our review of Kamen Rider 01, Episode 9. As always, I'm your host, President Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
And Makotoa.
Dudes, welcome back. We got done watching this episode yesterday so that you guys could comment on it, and we'll talk about it at the end of this video. But, as for the episode itself, I thought it was good. It's a good follow-up to the previous episode, and we got a little bit more with... I guess the sentience of Humagear in question and how that sort of affected our characters this week. What did you guys think? Michael holding back a yawn.
I was a little confused. So the Humagear that was like the surgeon, he was previously infected.
Yes.
But he didn't go rogue. So was he ever at risk of going rogue? Is that what was going on?
We saw that during surgery when they got reactivated. He was working on Fua, and then they said, "Okay, turn on, do bad now." And then he had this inclination. He didn't start the surgery. He was looking over to the side of Fua, and
I thought he was in the middle of it.
Oh, in the middle. I don't know. But either way, he was like, "Oh, no, I'm doing this. I'm a surgeon." And then he fixed him up. I thought it was neat.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
There was something that I touched on during the watch along that I didn't want to forget. That I kind of want to touch on again. Just the maybe accidental symbolism or the purposeful symbolism at the end of the episode where Fu was talking about his now two conflicting memories of getting bombarded by all those evil Humagear and then his life being saved. When he was talking about his previous memory, the camera was behind him, almost saying that, like, oh, hey, maybe this memory is going to be behind him for now, and then going forward, he might have a fondness toward Humagear, as he was talking about how Humagear saved his life. So, I don't know. I really like the touch, and then they gave us a really good comedic moment between him and 01. So, I thought it was a good way to end the episode.
I felt like for the one with like the doctor specifically, when he kind of got like probed by was it Hirobi, or like it was like the giant machine that kind of like did it to them. I kind of saw it as like it rewriting the program for a lot of the Humagears, but like they're not just like program like anymore because they're kind of like self-learning their like on their own. And I feel like if they have like a conscious themselves, then they can't be like as easily overwritten. And that's why for a lot of the other ones, it like even the ones that were taken over towards the end, you could kind of like see them like kind of like struggling to come back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like that was kind of like what they're trying to link towards. Like they're becoming more sentient, so they're probably going to be a bit more resistant towards it. But then again, we also have another sentient Humagear who's like the dodo bird, but like he's already on their side, so we kind of like see how he develops, and then we have our crazy Jin, see what he kind of does. Who, by the way, I love how much fun he's having. Like I hate his character type, but I like him. So
okay,
like
I mean, okay. Is he breaking the mold in some way, or is he just entertaining to you?
He's just entertaining, and he's really hard to hate.
Yeah, like, he brings the levity.
Like I despise like the grown ass adults that just don't act like it, but like he's not a grown ass adult; he just has a body, and he's just look at him. He's just kind of like dancing around and just having fun, you know.
Oh boy, that's a quote. He's not a grown ass adult, but he has the body.
You know what I mean, or you just don't care.
they had that very blatant juxtaposition of their two opposing views. Like when he was fighting in his Hulkbuster armor, like they cut between the surgeon trying to or like contemplating killing Fua, and then they cut to whatever Hirobi said about, we will cleanse humanity or whatever the hell. And then it cut to 01 being optimistic about human gear, and then the surgeon ultimately saving Fua. I guess this was supposed to be some big turning point where the hero and the villain just shout out, "Hey, we're on the opposing sides now," I guess, and this cements it.
Is this why that we had the preview and overtime subs for Emu?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea what that was about. Maybe it was the red glowing eyes, because the old dude that definitely shouldn't have been in the news studio just sitting there like this said, "Oh yeah, if the eyes turn red, they're evil."
Yeah.
I feel really
Glad
bad
he
for
was
this
there
world.
to let us know. I'm so glad that now I understand. I
I'm
didn't get it
convinced-
before.
I am convinced he's just a hobo that walked in, and none of the people in the news studio wanted to kick him out because he seemed a bit too intimidating, or they were just being really polite. I don't know what his deal was.
Okay. My favorite part of this episode actually was when the two assistant AIs were like,
We're duding at each other.
yeah, they were like they had a stare down because they didn't agree. That's a good moment.
Yeah. I wish we get like a bit more of like the company drama stuff, because like I really like everyone there. Like even the vice president, and like usually that stereotype is kind of like done and done with. But this guy, I feel like
done and done with.
Not done and doneer.
I feel like just like him and having his AI, shut up, like him and his AI just like have a pretty good like dynamic, especially when contrasted with Izu and Aruto. So I kind of want to see more of that.
Yeah, it's because, for me, again, it's like it really gets annoying when all the characters start hating on the main character. But this guy, he's so over the top with it. Like, it's kind of funny how it happens. Like, every time he's just there with his evil hand.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
But it's not like just that. Like his first priority is the company, and then it's like taking over. Like if Aruto's messing up, then he goes into that mode.
Yeah,
but
that's
otherwise,
right.
like he's like actually being the vice president and like trying to help the company out. So I'm just kind of like,
Right.
okay, so he's not just like being like the XA secondary writers where they just like hated Emu
Yeah,
constantly. Like he has some chill, but oh man, I had another point, but someone just talk about something else.
Actually, never mind. I changed my mind. My real favorite moment was when
Can't take that back.
Yeah, fuck it.
The first thought
was
that came in
when
your mind.
the police chick who's got the like arm brace right now, she comes in to go like say hi to the assistant, and the assistant just straight up calls her out. She's like, "Where were you on the day when these people were being attacked? I believe it was you who was taking this footage." And she's like, "You know what? Never mind. I'm leaving."
I came here to be your friend, and this is how you treat me? I'm out of here.
Ooh, called out.
It's good, man.
I want to see where this goes.
I really like how at least Izu and everyone else, or the human gear, are changing the perception of human gear, at least for our tertiary characters. That's really nice. But then she just took it all back and said, "Hey, you suck." Oh shoot.
Or how she said earlier in the episode, no, I don't care if Emu dies. Or not Emu.
Aruto.
Aruto.
She did.
She said that.
She said she did care, right?
No, she said she didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it got really existential and all that other stuff. Like I don't,
because she's still like, I don't think she's reached. She hasn't like evolved yet. She hasn't become sentient herself. I think she's getting there, but I don't think she's gotten there yet because otherwise, I think what we'll see in the progression is that she will start caring for him and go beyond the scope of just her duties as the secretary.
Yeah, she could easily get destroyed, like somewhere in the middle. Like,
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, that was quite an interesting like dynamic those two have. They're just like both allies, but obviously, what's her name?
Am I back? I feel like I froze.
Probably.
Like, really
We didn't notice because you were
okay.
frozen.
Cool. Good.
But I feel like the police chick's just kind of too sketch right now. Like the only like real ally she has is Fua, and like if she loses him, then I don't even know.
I mean, they don't even like each other. He's just his he is just her lab rat.
yeah.
I mean, there was the thing of her really caring to defend Fua. I guess you're right.
Yeah, well, it's her lab rat. Why would you want that to die? You gotta go find another one. Yeah. Overall, like decent episode, in my opinion, but it's just the action didn't like really stick the landing for me, at least, except for
because most of it was big robot.
Yeah, I really hate the time machine fights. Like those are just so clunky and for me.
Honestly, I like them for the most part, but in this episode it wasn't done as well.
The flying press was like actually good though. That's like the only thing
that was the accurate name for the accurate attack.
Yeah, that one made sense.
Yeah. The accurate name for the right attack.
Yeah,
this time.
I'm not shooting a bolt my foot. Come on.
And then stab him. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I'm good.
Corey? You're good?
Yeah. Okay, Corey's not frozen. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
He is frozen, but not frozen.
Of course. Let's take a look at the comments then. So, again, from Double the Unknown, this episode feels like the first major conflict for Aruto, which was a basic decision-making moment, but really gives me promise that Aruto will be getting better characterization sooner rather than later. This episode also gave Fuo a new perspective and raised more questions about Yua's intentions. I suddenly came to a realization that she seems a bit like what Michi was like during the early stages of Gaim. She goes around handing out new toys to everyone, but seems to have a personal agenda that may involve backstabbing everyone. The moral issue raised about the human gear continue to be impressive.
You know, I didn't like that character until you made that comparison with the Great Boy.
The Great
Boy! Instantly rose 2 tiers in my character thing.
Impressive.
Wow. She could easily fall back down. This character. But
most times she does fall down.
Yeah.
But like, Great Boy sucks so bad, God. Like he had like a similar powers, like a little great gun that didn't do shit. As for like Aruto, for me it doesn't really sell me on anything, just because this is the type of conflict that a lot of like the main series writers have, where it's like very cyclical, kind of like what happened like Geo, and it's happens all the time in Toku, where they kind of like beat around the same type of conflict over and over and over again. They kind of like approach it like in a different direction, but it's like the same issue. You kind of just like take a step back.
He's just each time he's applying his same mentality and his same sort of I guess I'll stick with mentality as the word. To different situations, and this is the first one that really challenged him. Just because he wasn't sure if he should shut down the human gear or not, and which would endanger more lives. So this is the first time he strengthened his resolve, I guess.
Yeah, but it just kind of felt like the call was just like too easy to make, almost, because like you got it, like the casualties are the same, but like if you're like the company or the president of the company and you're the one who shuts them down, then that puts more of the blame on you rather than like Metsubo, Jinrai, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like if they leaned it a little bit more into like him as a CEO in this conflict, it probably would have had a bit more weight. But they didn't like really put the emphasis on that, but rather on like the sentience of like human gear. For this conflict, I don't think was like the main focus for that. You know, it wasn't like a strong point in that regard. Like if they just developed Aruto as a CEO, then maybe it would have like been a lot stronger.
Well, I mean, the thing is, being CEO, at least for this company, is sort of like it has two different responsibilities. It's using the powers of 01 because only the CEO can be 01, and running the company. So I feel like being 01 and using those powers and using those assets to bolster your decisions as CEO, I feel like those go hand in hand.
Just to interject, I think this is actually an episode where Aruto, for the first time, was right about the AI. Because, I mean, I don't know if he realizes it or not yet. The AI didn't get taken over as the doctor, right? And he was able to save secondary rider dude successfully. Every other time, he's had to kill the AI because they were infected. He hasn't actually gotten to go through with his resolve, or like it didn't come true. His trust in the AI.
He didn't confirm it.
So it's a little subtle, but this was the first time it actually worked. We didn't get like a big, oh my gosh, I was right, because he didn't interact with the doctor at all.
And episode. You know what? It sucked because we didn't quite develop the surgeon as well. So we didn't feel the thing of like, oh man, I really hope this guy doesn't die. It was more like, I mean, Fuwa's not gonna die, so this guy's probably just gonna do it. Like there was no...
Yeah, he was at the most at risk, but it was for a character we knew wasn't gonna die, so there go the risks.
Yeah. Oh, so I was looking back at the episode, and Valkyrie asks, "Do you really don't care if he dies?" And then Izu says, "No, I do."
Oh, it's obviously a translation error.
Yeah, she just doesn't care. That's hard. Okay, I mean, I could have seen it going either way because she's just an AI, but I mean, at this point...
How AI-ist of you.
How biased?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a joke. Are there any comments that we should get to?
That was the last comment. We're done.
Okay.
That's it. We're done.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Except for next week, because we won't be doing Superhero Time. I didn't do a Gundam episode last week, so I might double up this week and next. I'll do something. But, yeah. Look forward to the next episode, and make sure to comment on the watch along so that we can, react like we did in this episode. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
Yeah. See ya.
Later.
Another good discussion.
Do you remember that one part of the episode where like Izu kind of like drifted in?
Yeah! Yeah. And it was horribly done with like this weird composite shot, and then just like sliding her across.